I did the front yard yesterday with mowing. It's getting a little long here, so I need to trim it down. Weather looks okay at the moment, so might as well get into it. It's about 3 o'clock in the afternoon. And one thing that's quite interesting is that every time I go into this shed to get the motor mower, I come across at least 1 or 2 cane toads. They seem to like it. I don't know if they're petrol sniffing or whatever, but they really love it. So chances are there'll be another one there now. Like I said, there was 2 there yesterday when I came to pick up the motor. Typical, I'm filming and they're not here now. There was one in the corner there and there's another one there. Once I found one just lobbed right on the top of the actual motor mower. I don't know if I mentioned my next door neighbour offered for me to use his mower because it's got a bit more grunt than mine, which is very nice of his. This is my Jerry built cover for the oil. The one that came with it just popped out. It's somewhere. I retrieved it once, although someone did it for me, and I haven't been able to find it since. So it's got a dipstick, but it's gone now. So I don't know. So I just put this on when I'm storing it. So. Yeah, not my favourite task, but it's got to be done. All the question about this mower is I've got to figure out how low to put the actual blade. I want to put it right down, but when I do that down the side there, it keeps cutting out all the time, and there's a bit more. This is a bit flatter, so I think it can handle it a bit better here, but I don't know. Anyway, I'll put the catcher on and have a go at it, and I'll be a sweaty mess at the end of it, but I really need to trim this down. This compost bin, and there was this plethora of, I don't know what they are, whether they're blowflies or not bees, are they? I wouldn't have thought so. They're too small for bees, although native bees are small. It sounded like a swarm of bees. It sounded like a swarm of something. Anyway, it's pretty amazing. I haven't seen that before. So they're obviously finding the conditions in there very good for breeding. So there you go. And I did see a cane toad scarper as I was mowing, but of course I didn't catch it on camera because I'm the worst photographer in the world. I never get the shots. So sorry about that, folks. My next door neighbour, they nursed wallabies back to health, so maybe I should see if I get a shot of a wallaby, a baby wallaby being fed milk. It's the only way I'm going to get the shot because I'm hopeless when it comes to the live action stuff. Hopping in the back there, when I moved the mower in, a bloody cane toad, a small one, but it jumped back and forth there. But I know you won't believe me because I can never get the shots for you, so frustration. I know how paparazzi feel. So you can see a few on the outside here, but I'll just lift the lid and it'll be just blowy city. Oh, there they are, see there? There are quite a few. Maybe there's a budding entomologist watching my channel can actually tell me what the hell they are. But they were making a racket before I put all the compost in, the grass clippings. Anyway, that job's finished. I don't think it was that high anyway. And it didn't cut out once. It just doesn't like undulating surfaces, this particular motor mower, but it's fine on this area. Like I said, did all this area and not one cut off, so it just shows you. Now it's time for a cold drink. This is extraordinary. It hasn't rained all day, and I just decided to go and have a walk down to the Cook Highway bus stop so I can get the 110 bus because it's a more direct route, and get myself a bit of exercise as well. But as soon as I walk out the door, it starts spitting rain. It's amazing. It's just, it's like when I got on the bike the other day. It looked clear on the radar, but no. Yeah, like the radar just doesn't give you that good an idea because it looked fairly clear when I looked at it last, but it's only spitting and it doesn't look as though it's going to settle in or anything, so I'm not that concerned. But yeah, I'm just going up the crescent, and I've got stacks of time. It's about 10 minutes to 2, and my bus doesn't leave till about 27 past, so oodles of time, so no need to rush. But yeah, you just want to have a leisurely walk there. You can swap buses. I could get the local bus here at about 20 past 2, but no guarantee it's going to coordinate with the 110. They supposedly turn up at the same time at that stop, but they don't always work out. That doesn't always work out that way. So I decided, look, I'll just walk up to the stop, get myself the exercise, and that way I won't have an issue. So that's good. So anyway, I'll just keep heading west till I get to the Cook Highway, and then get a bus to the Cairns Central. Just go down to PJ's, but I've also got to check to see that the rat test, the RAT test, do include a proper pathology report. Sorry about that. That dog always goes berserk. Not many people wander down here. Everybody be in a car, so I'd be the weird guy who actually walks down here. Territory now, so sorry about the background noise. Yeah, I gutsed down a whole pack of Doritos yesterday, and so it's probably a good thing I do a bit of walking, because I'll be on the bus after this. I won't be doing that much. But I mean, it's a nice walk in suburbia. It's very quiet. Most people, I guess, are working, so this is pretty typical. And I'm going to probably get the bus back late tonight, because I'm going to have dinner over at Lynn's mum's place. I haven't seen it before, and she's invited Lynn and myself over to have a meal, so that'll be nice. I'll get a bowl of vino and see how we go. But I'll be getting the bus back after 8, so I've never, on a Friday night, it'll be an interesting experience. Hopefully hoons aren't on the bus, but I wouldn't know. I never really, the last time I rode on a bus at night down here would have been a couple of years ago. So I don't exactly get out and about, and that's why I'm going to enjoy, if I can pull off this trip, being in Southeast Asia, because I feel safe at night. You can go out and do stuff. Well, the other thing is you can basically afford a taxi service. It's not much more than you'd pay for a bus here, so it means I've got total mobility, which is really good for me. You know, it's for someone who doesn't drive. My only concern is that if I get a grab bike, if the bike itself is over 250 Cs in size, then you're not covered with insurance. Also, you must be wearing a helmet, and you must also be being driven by a licensed driver. Now, that should be a given if they're working for Grab, but you just never know. Someone might be doing some swapsies, and someone who's not authorised to be could be driving it. But I suppose at least it's highly unlikely. So yeah, it's probably a fairly safe option. The other thing is just to get a taxi, normal taxi, be covered if you're in a taxi. But if you're on as a pillion rider, of course, it's a more dangerous proposition. But it's fun, you know. I like doing it. So. And I tried to find out what the average size of the bikes were over there, but I couldn't get a figure. I presume that they'd be smaller for Grab, because it's around the city. They don't need big bikes, and they want to keep their fuel consumption down. So I would think that they don't want them to be too big. Yep, electric scooters are the go around here. Mind you, they are at Parramatta Park too. They can certainly zip around on them. It's a perfect place for it. There's not much traffic. That's why it's great for bike riding too. But I just need the exercise. I can't. If you're that young, I don't suppose it matters that much. But you get exercise elsewhere. But for me, walking and bike riding really good, especially if I'm going to be gutsing junk food like the Doritos. About 7 minutes or so to spare, 7-8 minutes. There's a guy waiting there, but he's getting a lift, so I thought I was wondering whether he got the 110 so you could see it coming. I just can't see the sign for the bus from a distance, so I don't want to be hailing the 111. The nightmare scenario would be if you hailed the 111, it slowed down, and then the 110 was right behind it and went straight past the one I want. It just takes that much further. It takes about another 20 minutes to get to the city with the 111. So for another Guinness, it's been a long time, months between drinks, literally and metaphorically. And I had a fairly successful journey into the city just now, because I've discovered that with Priceline they do supervised RAT tests, and they do provide the documentation required by Jetstar. Costs $30, but that's half the price you'll pay at the airport. It's $12 for the test, but I'll probably get it for nix anyway, because I'm on a pension, so it's only going to put me out of pocket $30, and it's well worth it to know that, well, to know where I stand as far as whether I'm positive or not. Hopefully not. And tomorrow and on Sunday I can turn up to the airport without having to worry about getting that test done. So even if it's really tight squeeze between the domestic flight that may be delayed and the international flight, at least I won't have that hassle. Still not 100% sure whether you have to do the health declaration online. What I'm reading is it was scrapped as of yesterday, but I'll believe it when I see it. I tried to check it out online and I couldn't get an all English version, so it would be impossible for him to fill it out online anyway, even with the other documentation required. So, but they're snowed under with people coming in from overseas in Saigon airport, and they basically told the authorities, we just can't cope with this extra paperwork. We're going to have to scrap the health check, the online health check prior to entry to the country. So it is all starting to loosen up, which is great. It's getting a little easier to travel. You know, if I'd went through originally, as I was planning to go through Sullivan Nicolaides pathology, I would have had to have had that test done this morning, and there's no guarantee I would have got the results tomorrow. This way I pay a fraction of the price, so it's $30 as opposed to $140, and I get the results while I'm waiting, while I'm there. So I've got an appointment for 4:30 tomorrow at Priceline, and I've just basically now got to just run up and do the test, and they'll give me the documentation required, which is just perfect. The Guinness is going down well, and that's the main thing, and it's going down quite nicely today. Please consider subscribing to my channel if you think there's anything there of use to you, or entertainment or whatever, and either do that or give me a thumbs up, or if you're feeling really energetic, do both. That'd be great. But please don't ignore me. That's the worst thing you can do on YouTube, is be ignored.